Hello and welcome to another video from the Retro Guy, and it's a pickups video today. I haven't done one of these for a hell of a long time. In fact, no, I can't remember the last time I actually did one of these. So I thought, you know what, I'll go through all of the things that I've picked up basically from about November to about now. And there is a few. But I must admit, I've actually got rid of a hell of a lot of stuff. I mean, like over the past 2-3 weeks, I've literally taken about 3 big carrier bagfuls of films to CEX to get rid of. Basically stuff that I won't watch anymore. So basically that has pretty much funded near enough all of these. And yeah, I can't wait to go through some of these delights. But you know what? I'm actually going to start off with these. It's a couple of T-shirts that I got from Silver Screen Con. Not Saturday, was it? No, it was Saturday week. So it wasn't Saturday just gone, which was the 20th. Yeah, it was about the 13th. And it was up at the Cumberland Hotel near Marble Arch. And I went with my 2 nephews and my youngest nephew's mate from college. And I wasn't looking to get anything, but they were looking at one stall, because it was a really small affair, looking at one stall. And I kept looking over at these T-shirts, and they had this one T-shirt. It was like a tractor beam. It drew me in, and I was like, I've got to have it. And it was from a company called Last Shirt on the Left. And yeah, I just thought I've got to get these. So it's one of the cats has decided to investigate while I'm filming. So and yeah, so these were in the 2 for 38 quid. And the first one, I've worn this one already, and you know what, I absolutely love this design. I really do. And it is Big Trouble in Little China. How cool is that? This is literally the first Big Trouble in Little China T-shirt that I have bought. And yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I mean, just look at all the detail on it. You've even got the 3 Storms. You've got Egg Shen. You've got that beast. You've got that funny looking testicle creature. I don't know. Then you've got Lopan himself. And then you've got good old Jack Burton. Beautiful T-shirt. Absolutely beautiful T-shirt. And I'm glad that I was able to get it. And this is the second one that I got. See, the guy actually said to me, hang on, let's turn the brightness up just a little bit. That's better. And yeah, I didn't know what other design to pick. So I said it's between 2. I said it's between They Live and this one. So the guy went, right, I've got a pound here. He said heads is They Live, tails is the other one. So he's flipped it, called it, and I said, like, you know, he basically said, like, heads, like, it's either heads or tails. So he's flipped it, he's gone, it's tails. So it was this one. And while I was gutted to not get the They Live one, they are still available on the website, so I'm going to be picking it up at some point. But this is literally the first T-shirt of this film that I have owned. And yeah, Event Horizon. Sam Neill's character at the end, when he's been taken over by the ship. And it's even got Liberate tu teme ex inferis, which is save yourself from hell. And look there, you've even got the Event Horizon there. That is a pretty cool design, I must admit. I love that. But the best thing was, while I was looking at the T-shirts, I actually noticed that they had some pin badges, look, in a small kind of display case. And I was standing there with my eldest nephew, and I was going, oh, that's so-and-so, that's so-and-so, that's so-and-so. And they had this pin badge, and I went, oh, yeah, that's that that object from that film. And the guy actually turned around to me and said, you know what, I'm actually amazed. No one has got that one yet. And everyone was calling themselves like horror movie fans. He said, you're the only one to get it. So he said, you know what, because you got the 2 t-shirts and I'm impressed that you actually got it, you can have the badge for free. And he gave me this badge for nothing. The egg from contamination. It's actually a pretty cool badge. I was tempted to have this on my coat, but you know what? I'm going to leave it in the packet. Because, well, you don't really see these about anywhere, but look at that. How cool is that? And he was actually surprised that I got that. I was the only person to get that. And yeah, he was absolutely, blown away that everyone who went to that stall did not get that one at all. But yeah, it was a great little stall. Been on the website and they do some fantastic t-shirts. They even do the zombie flesh eaters with Vipco. So it's like the old VHS or Betamax label. And you can either have it in blue or yellow. It's got the runtime, it's got the copyright on it and everything. It looks pretty smart. So we'll be picking that one up at some point. So I'll just put those to one side. And while we were there, they had a few celebrities. They had the director and some of the stars from the Terrifier films. And they had like a few other ones as well. They had Rosie McGowan, who I near enough bumped into. I was going back in to meet this celebrity, and I was standing there like trying to look into like the auditorium, and as I turned around, I near enough walked into her, and I said to her, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and she went, "Oh no, you're all right," and we both laughed it off. And I recognised who it was straight away, and my nephew's gone, "Do you know who that was?" I went, "Yeah, it was Rosie McGowan," and it was just like that, and. So I was like, I got to talk to her. She was actually really nice. She was just like, oh no, don't worry about it. That's absolutely fine. It's like, I think it was because I didn't go, oh, you're so and so. Oh, I just treated her like a normal human being, and I was just like, oh, I'm so sorry. So it was a nice little interaction. And then the person who I actually met, I got the first sleeve of this signed. I actually went up to HMV to get this because I'd sold my original Blu-ray set of this and I was after the 4K set, and I thought, you know what, this is an opportune moment to get this signed, to get this set and get it signed, and I'm glad I did. It's the Hellraiser tetralogy with 1, 2 and 3, and of course one of them, I've switched it round. Take that out. I actually got it signed by Pinhead himself, Doug Bradley. And I was going to get it authenticated, but it's like he was doing a Q&A, and he came back at just after 4. Got it signed. I turned around and there was the authenticators behind me. And they were shutting up shop. They put everything away, and I was like, oh shit. But that is his signature. That is Doug Bradley's signature. I shook his hand. I said to him that my dad was a fan of the Hellraiser films, and he's the reason why I got into them. And that, and the first one's a classic. And as soon as I said that Dad was the person who got me into the Hellraiser films, you could tell he was like a bit proud that that someone had passed down the Hellraiser films, because I've got my dad's DVD box set in the Lament configuration, and I've also got his 3 VHS of 1, 2 and 3. But yeah, I had to go and pick this up, and this was the last one in HMV. And yeah, I've switched around all the sleeves. Obviously, part 1, part 2, because I love this artwork better. For me, this is the art. This is the best artwork. Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth, and then Hellraiser 4, Bloodline. But the only problem with this, the case is smashed. So I'm going to have to try and see if I can get a replacement case. I mean, it's a pain in the arse, you know, but I've got the piece. I can either fix it or I can get a replacement case. But yeah, so I'm very, very happy with that. I really am. And you know what? He was an absolute gentleman. He really was. Like, shook my hand and all that. And as I say, we spoke, and then I just said, it was an absolute pleasure to meet you. It really is, and thank you ever so much. And he was really humbled by that. You know, that someone had actually, I suppose that someone has, although he's probably heard it like quite a few times, but you know, I suppose if anyone says that, it would make their day. You know, and I shook his hand again and, you know, wished him well. Very nice guy, Doug Bradley. Yeah. So that was all literally that I got up at the Scream Con. I was given a couple of prints. One of them was the Burbs, which I got with the last shirt on the left. I also got, I forgot about that, also got these. There was an author up there and he was selling graphic novels, basically continuations of certain franchises. And this one, because he was talking to me and he literally sold them to me, with the movie Gremlins, you had Mr. Futterman, and he was saying about World War II and the Gremlins and all that. And so this is basically a what if it had actually happened, and all the stories that he told of basically if he did encounter the Gremlins in World War II. So there's part 1, signed by the author, and part 2, signed by the author. And he also gave me the print of this front for free as well. And when you look inside, is it this one or is it the second one? Nope, it might be the second one. Yeah. You've even got a message from Joe Dante, so he's endorsed it, which is pretty awesome. So it is basically him saying, yeah, I can get on board with that. That's a good idea. That is part of Gremlins canon. So, yeah. Which is pretty cool. I haven't read them yet, but I'm going to try and sit down and read both of these. But they're quite thick. See? That's per volume. But it'll be worth it, as I fucking love the 2 Gremlins films. So, now I'm going to move on to some retro gaming items. Now, these are cartridge only. And yes, a couple of them are reproduction ones, because there is no way in hell I'm going to pay the amount that people want, especially for this first one. I've loved the Turtles for donkey's years. Absolute donkey's years. And when I looked at trying to get the cartridge, it was like 50-60 quid. So I was like, right, if I was to sell stuff at CEX, and I've remembered about it, I would have got it there, like cartridge only. But I kept forgetting all about it. So when I did remember, I got this off of AliExpress. I haven't tried it yet, but I've had loads of repros from AliExpress. And yeah, I'm more than happy with them. More than happy with them. You know, until obviously I can find the originals cheaper, in which case I'll then pass them on for free. You know. And anyway, you can tell that they're repros because that sticker on the back has got 3 lots of the warning, whereas normally they've only got the 1 lot. So that's how you can tell. And also the cartridge looks, it's too new, and it's a bit light as well. So that's another way that you can tell. And I can't wait to try it out. I haven't played this for ages. Last time I played it was on the Cowabunga collection on the PS4. And yeah, brilliant game, so I can't wait to check that one out again. Now, the next SNES game, this is an original, and I got this off of eBay, and it's Top Gear. It's pretty much the SNES version of Lotus Turbo Challenge, but obviously you ain't got no Lotuses in it. It's all like these kind of like sports cars. And by Lotus Turbo Challenge, I mean it's kind of like pretty much the same game, you know, but the graphics have been changed just ever so slightly and tweaked, you know, and just basically the name changed. But this is by Gremlin, and yeah, can't wait to see what this is like. I haven't tried this yet. I've had this for a good few weeks, and I love a good racing game. So as soon as I see that this was like a SNES version of Lotus, but without the Lotus name and without the Lotus cars, I thought I'm going to jump on that and try that. And I can't wait to try and get hold of the second one, but the second one's more expensive for some reason. I don't know why. So yeah. Now the next one is another Mega Drive repo, and this was only a couple of quid. Because again, I don't really want to pay the amount that people want for the original. I mean, the game is brilliant, don't get me wrong, and it might be worth every penny, but I don't think it's worth at the price that it's going for. So I got this, and it's Midnight Resistance, and you can tell that it's a repro because obviously the label's bigger. It's got the notch out of there. If I put that there you go, you can see it. The notch has been taken out there. It's not using the Mega Drive artwork. This is actually the Bob Wakelin artwork, which is the better artwork in my opinion for the Amiga, Spectrum, Commodore 64, Amstrad versions. You know, basically the ocean versions, and also because it's got that on the back, and they're not real screws. But yeah, for a couple of quid, I thought, you know what, that'll do me. Again, until I can find a proper cartridge dirt cheap, which is basically, I've got two hopes: Bob Hope and No Hope. So yeah, but for now, that'll do me for a couple of quid. Now the next one is an original, pardon me, but this was actually with CEX voucher. That was the only way I was going to actually get it, you know. And it's Turtles: The Hyperstone Heist. This replaces the repro cartridge that I've had for a while. You know, this is a game I was like, right, as soon as I've got that a big enough voucher, I'll get the cartridge and then just swap it over. You know, because I've got the box and the inlay of that. But yeah, that's the only way I'd pick up games like this, as if I sell loads of stuff to CEX. Then I can get stuff like that. There's no way I'll pay out cash outright. But yeah, I can't wait to try this again. Again, it's been absolutely ages since I've played this. I know the label isn't in the best of conditions, but what can you do? What can you do? It's a game from 1992, I do believe, 92, 93. Whew, pardon me, might be 93. So 32 years, you know. So anyway, that's the Hyperstone Heist. And the last one of the cartridge based is it's actually a mod of a game, and it's been turned into like a brand new game. But because I'm a huge Bond fan, as you might have realised with my top 5 Bond based games, I basically anything James Bond game related I'd pick up. And so I've got this, and it's the Goldfinger 007 mod for GoldenEye. This is the full game, and I haven't tried it yet. I have tried the version that I downloaded. It kept glitching out for some reason, so hopefully this is fixed. Like there was one bit I got to the hotel. You remember in the film when he gets to Miami, he goes to the hotel. There was one bit where you walk through, you can go to the car park, and basically everything else is open. It's into a bit where you shouldn't really be able to go. So it wasn't really a complete version, but apparently this is. So can't wait to get shooting as Sean Connery. Yeah. Obviously minus the really shitty impression. And so that's it. So now we're moving on to the last of the cartridge-based games, and these ones are all originals. And we're going to start off with this, Chuck Rock 2, The Son of Chuck. Now, I've got the Amiga version of this, and at some point I am going to be doing a comparison video between this and the Amiga version. There's no point doing the Mega CD version because you know it's just going to be exactly the same. It's just going to have CD quality audio. So there's no point. But I think that an Amiga and Mega Drive comparison will probably be a little bit more fairer. You know. I do remember playing this on a demo on CU Amiga back in the day. And I thought it was actually pretty decent. Obviously, the first one is a classic, so I don't know. As I say, I haven't played the full version of this, so it's going to be interesting to see how, you know, how this one compares. But that artwork is fucking shocking. It really is. I mean, what the hell's that supposed to be? It looks like he's been in a ring with Mike Tyson, that tiger, and his nose has just been splattered across his face. What the fuck is that? I mean, and what the hell is that? Anyway, whatever it is, shit artwork, but looks to be a great game. So, can't wait to try that one out. I've got to show you complete in box. And the manual and the cartridge actually look mint. So now, anyway, back onto Turtles Tournament Fighters. Now, this was actually pretty cheap. But when it was advertised, it said that it didn't have the front of the instruction manual. So I thought, oh, the instruction manual is going to be absolutely bought. But, saying that, couldn't be further from the truth. The instruction manual is in actually pretty good condition, minus the cover. So I'm going to try and get some manual protectors and slip that in there. And the cartridge, obviously, it's in better condition than that Hyperstone Heist one. And again, just like Hyperstone Heist, it's in the Konami cartridge. So yeah. Now, the last time I played this, again, was on the Cowabunga collection, and I remember it being an absolute bitch to play. It was hard. Really, really hard. But, as I say, I'm a huge Turtles fan, so I'm going to have to give this another go, aren't I? Yes. Because I used to have this on the SNES, but it used to be the Super Famicom version, the Japanese version. And even then, that was hard, you know. So it'd be interesting to see how it turns out. Now, the next one is one that came today. Sadly, it doesn't have the team roster, I think it's the team roster poster. But for the price, I am not going to grumble, and it is in pretty damn good condition, and it is NFL Quarterback Club. Now, I don't mind an American football game. I'm shit at them, but, you know, I do like them. And, again, pretty much good condition manual, apart from a little bit of creasing up there. And the cartridge looks as though it has never been played. Not a scuff or anything on it. But as always with these later cartridges, the labels aren't exactly the best. They start unsticking. and it's in the Acclaim case as well, which is a nice little Brucey bonus. And then the last Mega Drive game is, well, this one's actually worth quite a bit from Australia, because I don't think it was ever released over here in the UK. Released in Australia, and now I know it's released in the US as well, and it is Fatal Fury 2. Now, I never used to be a big one-on-one fighter fan. I used to think they were all right. I'm starting to get back into them, but just these kind of classic ones. This one sadly hasn't got the instruction manual with it, but the cartridge is actually in very good condition. A few marks on the back there, that little cross, but hey, at least I didn't pay $1,000 for it. This was, can't remember how much it was. Anyway, no one really needs to know the price, but still, this was fucking cheap. That's all I'll say. And yeah, I'm really happy with it. Really, really happy with it. All I need to do now is just get the first one. Whether I get it on the UK, like the PAL version, or the US version, remains to be seen. So now we're moving on to the last, well, this generation and the last generation of games. And this next one is a collection of 2 games. Both from Taito, and it is Raystorm Cross Ray Crisis. Is it Raystorm X Ray Crisis HD Collection? However you pronounce it. There's 2 shooters on here, and there's 2 versions of each. You've got the one with original graphics and one with updated HD graphics. Both, you know, for both versions. I've had a go of these because I've never played them. My God, are they good. Hard. Very, very hard, but very, very good. And, yeah. Excellent package of 2 classic shooters. And the thing is, when I had a look at this, I actually looked and they had the original PlayStation disc, PlayStation version of this. And it was silly money. So I was like, get this one for like a fraction of the price. Pretty much a no-brainer. Now this one I picked up yesterday and I had a quick go of it, and I'm actually amazed at how much stuff is on here. Especially when you consider that one of the game, or 2 of the games, are actually quite expensive on the PlayStation. He's fucked up my camera. That's as close as. Anyway, yeah. I remember that 2 of the PS1 versions of these games were quite expensive. And I thought, well, I didn't even know they were on there. So when I got this, it was a very pleasant surprise. Very pleasant surprise. And it's the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. You've got Mortal Kombat 1, 2, 3, and 4. You've got Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. You've also got... what's the other ones on there? You've got Mythology, Sub-Zero. And you've also got Special Forces as well. Plus you've got the arcade versions of the first 4 games. I think you've got the N64 version of Mortal Kombat 4 on here. And you've also got the Mega Drive, SNES, I think in some cases the Game Gear and Game Boy versions of the Mortal Kombat games as well. So there's loads of different versions of the games on here. And it comes with the slip, which has got a nice bit of embossing. I don't know if you can see that. I don't think the camera's picking that up very well, but trust me, that's embossed. And oh yeah, I left the disc in the console. But yeah, I was actually quite pleased with that. I mean, I know there were some really bad reviews about the controls on this, but I must admit, when I played it yesterday, was it yesterday or was it Sunday? Sunday, sorry, it was Sunday. I didn't actually find any problems with the controls whatsoever. I thought they were pretty good, but who knows? So then the last one is a game that I've been waiting for a hell of a long time, and the well, you can see because it's there, but actually given a voucher from work for Christmas, and so basically it paid for it. So I didn't pay for it whatsoever, and it's the day one edition of Terminator 2D No Fate. What a game! What a game! It takes me back to playing the run and gunners in the arcade, and even at home as well. And yeah, brilliant game. Really enjoyed it so far. And with this day one edition, obviously you get the game with reversible sleeve, which I'll show you. Of digitized John Connor, and that's actually of John Connor in the film, so it's not like a kind of you know, a dodgy rip-off. You know, like when they got the rights to use the Terminator in Mortal Kombat, but they didn't get the rights to use Arnie's voice, so they had to get a sound-alike, which didn't sound nothing like him. I mean, obviously, you get your quick start guide. But then you also get a proper day one edition manual with loads of stuff. You get a token, which I must admit I thought was going to be bigger than this, but I don't mind. It's nice anyway. It's got T2D No Fate on one side, and then on the other side it's got for amusement only, no cash value, Studio Canal, Reef Entertainment, Bitmap Bureau 2025, and my camera is picking that up quite nicely. Yeah, exclusive game token. And then you also get a cloth poster, which I'm not going to take out because that's going to be a bitch to get back in there. So, yeah, that is Terminator 2D No Fate Day 1 Edition. And I'll tell you what, for a Day 1 Edition, you get quite a lot of good stuff in there. Quite a lot of goodies. Now, we're going to move on to the movies. Tell you what, let's move that up a little bit. That's better. And we're going to start off with the DVDs. Now, this DVD I actually got through the post yesterday because loads of people were saying about this. And I was going to try and pick it up on like 4K if I could find a 4K of it, or Blu-ray, but the Blu-ray is actually quite expensive. And so this DVD was, I think it was out to about £2. And it's The Serpent and the Rainbow by Wes Craven, starring Bill Pullman. It's all about voodoo and this magical, like, dust that's supposed to make the dead walk. So it's a zombie movie. Yeah, it's got here a Harvard anthropologist is sent to Haiti to retrieve a strange powder that is said to have the power to bring human beings back from the dead. In his quest to find the miracle drug, the cynical scientist enters the rarely seen netherworld of walking zombies, blood rites, and ancient curses. So this is going to be one I can't wait to see. I've never seen it. I know that we did have this on Betamax. I think it was Betamax, but I never got around to seeing it. I mean, The Serpent and the Rainbow. I actually thought it was Western. yeah. I mean, it didn't have all this. It was like a recorded one, so that's why I say it's like, you know, I thought it was a western. Uh, Little did I know, but still, can't wait to see it. Now the next one is a set of 5 films, and it actually made me wish that I never sold my Blu-ray set of this when I got the 4K of the first one through, because I just really fancied watching the other films in the series, and it is the Dirty Harry collection. Sadly, it's got a cover reprinted label there, but this is all 5 of the Dirty Harry films. Dirty Harry, Magnum Force, The Enforcer, Sudden Impact, and the Deadpool. And yeah, there's Dirty Harry, Deadpool, Sudden Impact, and The Enforcer. And I've got the disc for Magnum Force there because they stuck it in there, but obviously it kept flailing about the place a bit. So yeah, in actual fact, I watched Magnum Force on Saturday, I think it was. Yeah, really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it for a first time watch. So now I can't wait to see the Enforcer, Sudden Impact, to the Deadpool. So yeah, we're giving the rest of those a go at some point. And the last DVD was another CEX purchase, and this one was cheap, very cheap. And it was actually just a literally just look as I was selling stuff and going, "Ooh, that'll do." And I mean, I was umming and ahhing about getting either the 4K or the Blu-ray release, and I thought, well, I don't really want to get them, because if I don't like them, then I've got to try and sell them. So I thought, you know what? This was dirt cheap. It's a DVD, so I thought, well, sod it. I'll give it a go. And it's The Innkeepers. Now, loads of people have said that this is a really good film. It is available freely on YouTube, but I thought, no, I'd rather have the disc so I can watch it, you know, comfort of my chair, on the big telly. I know you can watch YouTube on like PlayStation and stuff like that, but if the internet goes out, you got the disc. And so yeah, I'll be giving this a go at some point. Well, actually, I might watch it in a bit, you know, because yeah, this is really intrigued me. I want to try and get into more of Ty West's films, especially The House of the Devil, because it sounds pretty cool, you know, and done exactly like a 70s like horror movie. So yeah, be interested to see what this one's like. The Innkeepers. And now we move on to the Blu-rays. And you know what? I'm going to do these first 3 because they all came as a bundle. I did have the End of the Video Store set from Arrow, and so when I sold the set and these 2 came up with this other one, I thought, you know what? I'm getting that because it's fucking cheap. And the first one is Robot Jocks. Now this is a favourite of mine. I love big stompy robot action, you know. And plus it's got a fight scene where the woman's stunt double is a bloke, so that's always a nice bit of hilarity. But no, I love this film. I really enjoy it every single time I watch it, and it's only 84 minutes long, so it doesn't outstay its welcome. I actually wish that there was more robot fights in it, but we can't have everything. Now the next one in the bundle that I got was Dolls. This is a creepy film, really creepy film. Quite a bit of blood in it, not gore, but just blood, you know. And it's only 77 minutes. Again, that's directed by Stuart Gordon. This is directed by Stuart Gordon, and it's got the guy from RoboCop 2 in it who plays the corrupt cop who's on Nuke. He plays a good guy in this. What's his name? Stephen Lee. I think it's Stephen Lee. Yeah, Stephen Lee. And yeah, it's a really good film. And it's got a nice little twist at the end as well. So yeah, if you haven't seen Dolls, 77 minutes long. Again, doesn't outstay its welcome, and it's really good. And the last one that was in that bundle was one that's still about 18 quid in HMV. And this one actually comes with a slip. And it is King of the Ants. And it's actually based on the novel by, what's his name? Charlie Higson. Novelist and comedian Charlie Higson, who wrote The Fast Show. Of all people. So, yeah. You get the slip. And you've even got the booklet in there as well, which is nice. So basically, all three of those were very, very reasonably priced. So yeah, for those three, I'm ecstatic to have those. Just as I am for the next one. The next one is Hammer Film, which was released on the Eureka label in... when was it released? 2015, and apparently it's now out of print. This I actually got dirt cheap. And yeah, this was released originally by Paramount Pictures in 1959. Directed by Terence Fisher, it is The Man Who Could Cheat Death, starring Anton Differin and Christopher Lee. I do remember watching this on Amazon Prime a few years ago, and I really enjoyed it. So I was like, I've got to try and get the disc. I know this has had a 4K release by Vinegar Syndrome in the US, but there's no way that I'm going to pay a hell of a lot of money for it. So I thought, you know what? This was cheap in CEX. Sod it. I'm getting this. And I'm glad I've got it. I really am, because this is a great film. Absolutely great film. You get 2 discs. You get Blu-ray, and you also get DVD as well. The artwork is reversible. I think they're both original artworks, but I like that artwork better. It's more, I don't know, the one on the inside's sinister, the one on the outside's more kind of macabre, you know, that kind of, you know. And little known fact, but Anton Differin is actually buried in a cemetery not that far from here. Believe it or not. Braintree, apparently. Work your head around that one. I can't, but still. And the last Blu-ray is another Empire Pictures / Full Moon Entertainment release. And it is classed as an unofficial follow-up to Robot Jox, and it is Crash and Burn. Now, this is a recent 88 films release, and I've not seen it whatsoever. It's on for roughly about the same amount of time as Robot Jox, but maybe a minute longer. It stars Bill Moseley from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, and yes, and The Devil's Rejects. And you've also got Megan Ward, who was in Arcade, which was a shit film. Very, very shit film. But you get the lovely hard box. You get the original artwork on the other side, which is pretty cool. Sadly, you don't get a poster or a booklet or art cards or anything. But you know what? I'm just glad to have the film on Blu-ray. You know, I mean, for many years this was available on DVD, and it was cheap as hell, and I just literally just passed it off. And then when I learned that it was an unofficial, or it was classed as an unofficial Robot Jox sequel, that I was like, I'll have to give that a go. I'm glad I picked it up. So yeah, I'll be giving that a go again at some point soon. Now moving on to the 4Ks. The 4Ks. And the first one is possibly one of my favourite films ever. This is just a beautiful movie. Really is a beautiful movie. Sad in a couple of parts. And it really does bring a lump to your throat. But for me, it is a masterpiece. And it is WALL-E. It's just such a beautiful film. You know, about a robot that's left on Earth to help clear up when there's loads of rubbish around. He gains sentience. He's the only one left of his model. And he basically lives lives on his own with a pet cockroach, and then one day Eve turns up to basically search for any like plant life that means that the Earth can sustain life again. And it just goes from there. And 98 minutes long, and it's just such a beautiful movie. Really is such a great cast as well. I mean, Sigourney Weaver does the voice of the Axiom, you know, and Ben Burt, who does the sound effects for the Star Wars films, he done the digital voice for Wally, and yeah, it's masterpiece, easily a masterpiece for me. One of the greatest films ever made, and I don't say that lightly. Now, the next film is one that I haven't seen, but the premise of it just reminds me of a version of Taken from, I think it's 1980. Produced by Arnold Coppelson, sorry. It is Night of the Juggler, starring James Brolin. It's basically his daughter gets kidnapped by this bad bastard, but it's not the girl that he's meant to kidnap, it's his daughter. And basically he goes to try and find her. This is from Radiance Films on their TX label, and this is a beautiful set. And I have not seen... Do you mind? Duke is a really clumsy turd. He really is. But I can't wait to see this. My ever-growing to-watch list. But yeah, basically you get this nice hard box. You get all the... you get this as well, this like little like sheet that goes around it. You get a nice booklet with writing on the film. Very small writing, I might add, with some stills. You also get a poster, which is pretty nice. Hey, I can fit that in.
That's what she said. Michael.
You also get some art cards. Wow. They've actually used plastic, like plastic binding to keep these in. Yeah, there's no way I'm getting them out for love nor money in case I have, like, you know, I have to like snip this, but I'm not going to because it actually keeps them nice and tight like a tiger. But yeah, there's no way I'm getting them out. So you're just gonna have to take my word that they're nice. I don't even know. And then of course you have the film itself. But yeah, that's the. I think that's the original artwork. Yeah, there's nothing on the inside. You've got 2 discs, you've got 4K, and you've also got Blu-ray, and it's in Dolby Vision. It's in 5.1 or mono, sadly. But yeah, you get this rather nice slip. I say, it's just a shame that, you know, it just looks creepy. But yeah, Night of the Juggler by Transmission, which is part of Radiance Films now. See, I actually prefer that artwork. That artwork is much better. Because it actually makes it out as though, you know, James Brolin's the bad guy, but he's not. He's the dad. He's going to get his daughter back. Now, the next one was one that I actually got from Imprint's sale. And this is one I've been after on 4K for a while. And this is one that I've really not seen at all. I've just literally noticed the top of the box. Well, I'll show you. I'll show you. It's Stir of Echoes, and look, you can see there. It doesn't fit snugly enough, but it was cheap. It was cheap. So I mean, look, it's even worse there as well. But it's a nice hard box. I'll give them that. You get that card on the back, and it's basically it's got a Dolby Vision transfer, audio commentary, couple of interviews on the 4K disc, and then the rest of the special features are on the Blu-ray, like deleted scenes, screen tests, behind the scenes interviews, which I'm assuming the ones in bold are brand new ones. So yeah, so we'll stick that back there. So that is the 4K disc with that artwork. Now, has it got the original artwork on the other side? No, it hasn't. But that's what I don't get. They printed something on the other side of this, but you can't see it because the case is black. See? What's the point of that? Why not print that on the inside of the label for the Blu-ray? You know, or even make the artwork reversible. So, there we are. So yeah, that's the 4K disc. And that's the Blu-ray disc. So this has got the film on as well. Now this, I can understand them printing something on the inside. See? But why the 4K didn't actually have the original artwork that's on the outside of the box on the other side, I don't know. But still, that's a rather nice set. Shame it didn't come with a book like the A Bridge Too Far set did. But you know, I love a good thriller, you know. So, and to be honest, again, I've not watched it yet. I'm terrible. I really am. I will get round to watching them all though. Now the next one, people are going to say, why the fuck have you bought that? And even I'm asking myself the same question. Why the hell have I bought this? Part of me wants to try it again. I haven't seen this for, must be about 10 years. Batman and Robin. It's got a nice sleeve to it. That's very, very reasonably priced. So yeah. 2 discs. And the sleeve. So anyway. Batman and Robin. I must admit, the very first time I see this, I actually bought the X-Rental video from Blockbuster. That was what, when did this come out? 97, so that would have been about 98. And I was only about 16. And of course I didn't know no better. And I loved it when I was a kid. And then when I got older, I watched it, I was like, no, that's actually pretty shit. But I thought, you know what? I'll give it another go. Maybe on 4K it might change my mind. Hey, it did with Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. So the next one is the second film in a series, of which I must admit I only really like the first 2. So this for me is basically the end of the series. And it is Resident Evil Apocalypse. This was very, very cheap. Very, very cheap indeed. Yeah, I haven't seen this for ages. But I really do like it. And I didn't even know that there's an extended version on here. It's 4 minutes longer. Interesting, Mr. Bond. And you get 2 discs. Blu-ray, 4K. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see the extended cut. See what's different. And the next one is a war film that I absolutely love. I've got the Blu-ray of this, the original Arrow Blu-ray, and it comes with, I think it's codename Wild Geese. It's got Lee Van Cleef, Lewis Collins, and I think Ernest Borgnine's in it. And it is the original Wild Geese. Now, this is the Severin 4K. I can't wait to see this again. This is just such a good war movie. It's 135 minutes long, and you know what? It just zips along like that. Hello, Jude. He always wants to be in pictures. Yeah, this is scanned from the original into 4K from the original camera negative, and apparently there's 9+ hours of new and archival special features. And wow, from the looks of it, there is, you know, which is pretty cool. So yeah, fantastic. 2-disc set. You don't get no reversible artwork, but then that's iconic anyway. You get 4K and Blu-ray. Now, this is a weird one for me for Severin to put out. I would have thought that Arrow would have put this out and done like a really like deluxe, nice looking box set for it. But hey, Severin want to put it out, that's absolutely fine. I know there was a bigger box set that came with a really big book and also the soundtrack, and it was like 70 quid. This was a fraction of that, and I thought, you know what, this is going to do me. I love the film, but there's no way I'll pay as much as they want for that. Screw that. This next one is one I actually pre-ordered and then cancelled. And then, excuse me, I thought, you know what, I'll just get the standard version of this. And it is the Turtles trilogy. I grew up on Turtles. I remember watching Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles as it was back then, because the BBFC turned around and said, oh no, you can't have nothing with ninja in it because kids might do, and you can't have nothing with nunchucks, it's got to be sausages. Fuck off. Yeah, the whole BBFC thing with, oh, you can't call it Ninja Turtles, you've got to put it as Hero in case the kids decide to want to become ninjas. And, you know, oh, they can't do anything with nunchucks because kids could get hold of them. How the fuck can kids get hold of nunchucks? That's what I want to know, honestly. But luckily, they waived all the cuts now. Thank God. And this is now uncut. I mean, you get this rather nice slip sleeve of the original film artwork. On the back of the box, you've got the mutagen thingy. Nice box. You get a booklet, which is done like a pizza menu, especially on the back as well. That's actually pretty cool. It really is. It's all about, well, there's the contents, and you got about all the censorship issues there as well. So now you do get a poster with every single one of the films. This is the one for the first one, I think. The original cinema art, again like on the front of the box, and then on the back you've got From Turtles in Time, which I must admit, that's pretty nice artwork. And in Turtles, you get, because they put, when I first opened this up, you had all the different character cards all spread across, and I was like, nah, I want them all together. You get stickers, so there's one of Michelangelo not holding sausages, Raphael and his sai, Leonardo and his katanas, and Donatello and his bow staff. Now those four are all stickers and they're pretty cool. You've also got Roy's of Greenwich Village loyalty card. So it says buy 7, get the 8 free. And then you've got these rather cool reflective looking character cards. You've got Casey Jones, April O'Neil, Shredder, Splinter, Raphael, Donatello, Michelangelo, Leonardo, and back to Casey Jones again. How cool are they? And they've all got that same thing on the back. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and like the shell. But that's all kind of reflective, which is pretty damn awesome. Now, in the first one, as I say, you don't get a poster in it because it's there, but you do get one of these cards. This one's for Wild Style. I don't know what the other ones are. So we are going to put these back in there. That's the disc art, and also that's the reversal. That's the art on the reverse as well. So I've gone for the original poster art on that film. Then you've got Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze. Again, that's the other artwork, and then you've got the poster there as well. I'm not going to bother getting the posters out. You know what they are. And then you've got the worst film out of the lot, Turtles 3. Yeah, it's not a good film. It's really, really not a good film whatsoever. In fact, this one's got only a few special features on it. It hasn't got a lot, but still, it's restored in 4K. So yeah, they go back in there. That goes back in there. Poster goes back in there. And then so that's the Turtles trilogy. Now when I was younger, I was big on the Turtles. I mean, I still kind of am in some 30 years later. 33 years later. And yeah, anything to do with the Turtles I absolutely love. That's why I had those 3 Turtles games and that. I even used to be part of the Turtles fan club. And it was, yeah, it was fantastic. It really was fantastic. Just loved being a kid then. Now the next one is, again, one that I actually got with CEX credit. And this is the only one of the trilogy that I've got so far. I do want to get the other 2. But for me, I think this is the best one of the series. Beverly Hills Cop 2. Sadly, this is probably about as bare bones a disc as you'll ever see. All that's on here is the film. There's no special features from what I can see. I'll even show you, look. On the disc, it just says feature film. So what does that tell you? Considering that on one of the old DVDs, I think in the is it one of the DVD box sets back in the day, they actually had deleted scenes and like other bits and pieces. That's never been carried over. In fact, I think the only Beverly Hills Cop film that's got special features is the first one. But that's absolutely criminal. All 3 of them need proper releases, because not having any special features on that, for the price that they were asking, what, 20 quid each, brand new, and there's nothing on there apart from the film. That's just fucking scandalous. I'm glad I got that dirt cheap. I wouldn't have paid more than the amount that I paid for them. No way. The last singular is one that I was actually umming and ahhing about getting. Because I've got the despecialized versions on disc. and I'm not getting rid of them whatsoever. But I thought, you know what, I wanted to see these films as I originally remember them. You know, the first film I had on Betamax as a recording off of I think it was the ITV premiere in about 83, 82, 83, something like that. When I was about 3 or 4, I loved it. Near enough wore the Betamax tape out. And it is Star Wars Project 4K. 4K 77, 80 and 83. These... That disc is still in the Blu-ray player. These are 4K restorations from the original negatives of the original Star Wars trilogy. And they are cleaned up to the best of the restorer's abilities. And they look absolutely mint. They really do. They look fantastic on the TV. And watching the first one back, it just instantly took me back to my childhood. And I was like, wow. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing indeed. You know, I was so glad I managed to get this set. Watching all 3 of them unaltered from the original negative, especially Star Wars. No A New Hope tagline, no McClunky, no Greedo shooting first, no comedy droids, no CG, just as it was back in 77, and obviously like the very early TV showings, as it was in 80 and 83. I wasn't going to pass it up. I'm glad I've got them. I really, really am glad I've got them. Just fantastic versions of the films. And yeah, I will be returning to these as well as the specialised versions. So now we're on to the very last box set. And the very last item of this video. Now, I was on and on about getting this set, I must admit. And so when I saw this dirt cheap, and I mean dirt cheap, I was like, yeah, I've got to pick this up. And as soon as this set came through, I actually watched the first one, and I was like, wow, that was insane. And it is Art Attack, the Terrifier collection. Sorry, Terrifier, the Art Attack collection, yeah. This is basically the 3 films that have been released so far, plus collection of behind the scenes experiences and art in a big book, and art cards. Now, I haven't looked at these art cards, so this is the first time I'm seeing them, so yep. That's from the first film. That bit just absolutely gets me. Oh yeah, that doesn't look very nice. Yeah. David, what's his name? David Howard Thornton. I knew I'd find it sooner or later. David Howard Thornton was so lovely. Really was so lovely. And it was the second time my eldest nephew spoke to him. He went to see him on the Saturday of the Silver Screen Con. We went on the Sunday as well. And he said he was a really nice person. Really, really nice person. And he actually remembered him as well. And my nephew actually picked up the Terrifier 3 German 4K Blu-ray DVD media book. And he even said, you need to see it. You really do need to see it. I can't wait to watch the other 2. But yeah. So yeah. It was a really nice guy. Really, really nice guy. And these are actually really, really cool little stills. There's quite a few here, I must admit. Ta-da! I think that's from the first film. And then back to the start. So, I'm going to slip this back in, if I can. There we go. That's all your technical specs, all the bits that come with it, and all the special features of all three films. And I've got number 5,674 of 20,000. Lovely. So, of course, that's the first one with the slip cover. That's Blu-ray and 4K. And then that's the back. Nice little bit of spot glossing. There we go. The light's picking it up. Lovely. Then, of course, you've got Terrifier 2. Again, nice little bit of spot glossing on the front. Sadly, there's none on the back. It would have been nice if she was spot glossed. But, yeah. Then you've got that artwork. And again, these are all 2-disc affairs. And there's also a poster there as well, which I didn't know about. Can't remember if there's a poster in the first one or not. I think there might be. Let me have a look. No, there isn't, sadly. What a shame. But still. So yes, that's the first two. And then lastly, Terrifier 3. And again, some lovely spot glossing. And this time, it's on the back as well. And yes, even the Terrifier there and there on all three releases is spot glossed. And again, you get a poster and you get Blu-ray and 4K. And lastly, you get this book as well. Nice hardback book. You've also got the Done to Death slasher cycle as well. So basically, filmography is literally every single slasher film. And there's some gory stills as well. I won't show you the whole book. So yeah, so then let's pop that back in there. Oh yes, and you also get stickers as well, just in case you fancy putting them around the house and scaring the shit out of people. Lovely. So then the art cards go back in. Terrifier 3 goes in. 2. And the one that started it all. It's a beautiful box set. Really is a really nice set. And yeah, this was a bargain. I'm glad I've got this. I really, really am. If I'm going to get into the films, that's the way to do it. So anyway, that is it for this pickups video. I know it's been a long one, but I'll try to keep it as short as I could. But the thing is, when I get started on a release or something, or I just go off on one. So I do apologise for keeping you for 80 minutes. So, with all that said and done, that's the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching and tuning in and listening to my inane ramblings, as it is. All that's left for me to turn around and say is have a good Christmas, have a fantastic new year, and I will see you all in the new year. So until then, be safe, look after yourselves, and don't eat too much over Christmas. I'll see you all again soon. Take care.